Now on the rest of the two graphics otherwise on that sheet, the two graphics are somewhat kind of the same, but the one that looks like a cone or funnel is probably most descriptive. Religion has us down in the smallest cone to the left, where we read about God, we hear about God, we learn about God, we hear teaching, or something. We might even teach about God. And we have a little experience of his acts. That's physical realm living. That's what religion pretty much keeps us in. But if you're charismatic or Pentecostal, you might go to the second realm, the second square there. We believe in Holy Spirit. Oh my goodness, Holy Spirit is for today. Prophetic ministry in all aspects, or Holy Spirit activity. Prophetic, words of knowledge, Holy Spirit presence, miracle, discernment of spirit, healing, tongues, interpretation of tongues, dreams and trances, and operating in or by faith. You see, that's not only physical realm, but it's incorporating the spirit realm. That's Holy Spirit. That's wonderful. We believe in that. That's wonderful. We've all come on this pathway. But that's only still with our feet on terra firma. Primarily being an earth-bound believer, wanting God to come through and rescue us, take care of us, do his acts among us. But now what we're learning, look at the bottom line there, we're learning to come from physical realm into heavenly realm living, where the spirit realm awareness is not just Holy Spirit coming down and resting up on us. Remember, Jesus says, tarry in Jerusalem until you be endued with power from on high. Yes. So Holy Spirit comes down. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's the best thing since sliced bread at that time. And it's been the best thing largely for Christianity since then. But God's opening a brand new something better. You remember, of the increase of his government and of his peace there shall be an end. Oh, no end, sorry. It just keeps getting better and better. So what is the next level? It's some of the verses have been hidden in plain sight. Come on up here.
Yes.
Yeah. Since you have been raised, you are now seated with, you have come. Hidden in plain sight, but we didn't have the revelation enough to make them come alive to us. So now we don't wait for Holy Spirit to rest upon us and empower us, little beggars. We don't know what to do. No, we're learning. We're sons and daughters of the living God, and God is imprinting upon our understanding of who he is and who we are. We're highly favored. Highly favored. Wasn't that what Gabriel said to Mary? Hey, highly favored. You know, you're highly favored. This is going to bust your brain here just a second, but Jesus quoted Psalms when he called the Pharisees gods. Ye are gods. Jesus said, doesn't your fathers, Psalms, say that ye are gods? There's a whole context there for why he said that. You and I have no idea, even in our fallen state, we have no idea the majesty, the magnificence, the stature, and the status that we have. How much more when we're sons and daughters of God? We have the God-likeness on us and in us. God himself resting in us. Here's a crazy verse. I was reminded of this just last night. I was kind of going over some things. God is speaking to Moses. And he's speaking to Moses and he says, Moses, I want you to be as God to Aaron. Are you sure that's in the Bible? Can that really be in the Bible? Moses, I want you to be as God. God is saying this to Aaron. I'm telling you guys and gals, we are on the best trajectory ever. And by the way, let me just say, this is not that we're grasping for anything. We're just trying to get over our cussed unbelief. I used that word the other night, didn't I? Our terrible unbelief. It's like the blind man said, I believe, but help my unbelief. So if we could just get over our unbelief, who knows the richness of our reality, the reality of who we are? Who knows that richness would spring forth? I am telling you, creation would begin to come into its pre-fall glory when the sons and daughters of God begin to come into their glory, into their heavenly position glory, into their union with God glory. And my friends, it's not that far off. And the problem isn't we don't have to get, fast and pray and whatever. Now, I'm not saying we don't do that ever. I'm saying we just have to get childlike. Just get simple. So let's look at that. We have the living in the spirit realm as Jesus did. I quoted John 3 a while ago. He said, I am in heaven. We have encounters, and we learn to not just have encounters where Holy Spirit comes, but now, of course, we're in the heavenlies, and we're learning to live or have habitation. Habitation. This is ongoing. This isn't like a little pop call of Jesus makes it right. Although that worked for babies. It does work for babies, and God doesn't mind doing that for babies. Because babies need it, they don't have any other thing they can do. But you and I are outgrowing that phase. We're learning how to have habitation. Learning how to live ascended. Face-to-face encounters with God. Letting Him imprint us. Full engagement in the spirit realm. More than presence. And now it's even more than just encounters. It's learning to live as a lifestyle. Spirit travel, Michael. Spirit realm worship around the throne. Again, remember we quoted this verse earlier, Hebrews 12. We've come to Mount Zion, and all the church of the firstborn, and all those whose names are registered in heaven. Okay, let's just do a little something here. Now this is a little stretch. You may or may not have success at this, but this is biblical. Activate your golden imagination. Now, I'm not saying to do anything that's not in the Bible. I'm saying take Hebrews 12, verse 22, and paint that picture in your mind. Okay, here we go. Ready? There's a mountain called Mount Zion. You see the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in that mountain, it's also called the city of God. So there's a city on this mountain. It's called the New Jerusalem. Thank God for the old Jerusalem, but this is the New Jerusalem. Wow. Okay. Now guess what? Picture in your mind, golden imagination at work, front and center. More angels than you can count in the city of God. And they are in festive assembly. They are happy. Look at them. What are they doing? Can you see dancing? Some of them doing the hokey pokey. Some of them probably doing a line dance. And why would they be happy? Not only is the Lamb here, He's the center of attraction. But I think angels are rejoicing because why? You and I are learning about our inheritance that's available to us while we're still on the earth. Oh, look at those angels. Let's just say, angels, thank you for your joy over the Lamb and over us. We're beginning to find our place. Thank you, angels. Thank you for your royal welcome. We bless you. Thank you. Now, let's go to the next verse. This is where we all get involved. And the next thing we see is the church of the firstborn. Who is the firstborn? Jesus. So it's the church of Jesus Christ. Are you part of the church of Jesus Christ?
Yes.
Yes. And all those whose names are registered in heaven. Who is that? Is your name? Yes, that's us. Now, paint the picture with your golden imagination. Some of you might be able to see with just your spirit eyes, but at least activate your heart eyes. Look, the church of the firstborn. Now, don't look around now with your eyes open, but remember what you saw in this room. Remember the people in this room. Now, impose them into the scenery. Okay, there they are, Michael and Kim And where are we at? Remember? In Mount Zion, the city of God. Yeah, there's Dan. There's Angela. Now, Paul says, I've determined from now on not to know anyone according to the flesh. In other words, I'm determined to see each other in and by the Spirit. So what does their spirit look like? As you see, oh boy, this is something's happening now. As you look at the spirit of each one in this room, gathered in this city of God, what does their spirit look like? Can you see? I tell you what, I see light with these glory sparkles coming out. Literally, I just see glory sparkles emanating, sparkling up out of each spirit that's a possessor of light. It's a vessel of light. Jesus called us the light of the world, so we're just keeping with the Word. That's what we're doing, keeping with the Word. Your spirit and my spirit are effervescing with these sparkles, multicolored, coming up out of this vessel of light. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay. I want to go back to that scene, the scenery, that picture. Michael, I think it was talking about Jesus and then these orbs going in and out. That's you and I. Let's just paint that picture. Let's establish it a little more firmly in our perception, and then it gets fashioned in us. So Jesus came into the world and he was the light of the world, and then he said, now you are the light of the world. Wow, that's a big deal, right? That's a big step. Jesus, the light that's in you now is in me. And as I find myself in you, in and out, you said in John 10:9 that I would be able to go in and out and find pasture. So go in and out. Me, the light, the vessel of light, the orb of light, effervesces with these colorful, I just see sparklies with red and green and blue and yellow and white, and they're dancing. They're very fine and very beautiful, just sparkling up out of these orbs or vessels of light. And these vessels are you and me. That's who we are. That's who we are. Now, I don't know if that exact picture is right, but we have more brilliance in us, more beauty in us than we believe. And he's just trying to push back the boundaries of our belief system. So we begin to see ourselves as heavenly.